recording. Welcome to the team call for whatever day it is today. I think it's the 31st. Yes, I'm quite sure it is because I've got some girls pushing pretty hard for Success Club on the last day. Actually, I'm just going to leave it like this so I know you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, so for September, the Challenge Pack promotions, we have Pio on for $140. That's $140 US. It's $164. No, $156. Oh my gosh, I can't remember to save my life. Can someone help me? What is it, Canadian? 156?
164.
Thank you. Okay, 164 Canadian. 3-day refresh is also plus Shakeology, obviously, is $140 US or $164 Canadian. Pio Kickstart, which includes the 3-day refresh. I think this is an excellent value. And I think it's an option. If you're going the Pio route, you should give your customers the option of the Pio Kickstart that includes the 3-day refresh because they may be ready for a cleanse. I'm thinking about doing, we can talk about this after the call, but I'm thinking of doing a Fit Republic 3-day refresh group just because I've never done the refresh myself. And so I don't really talk about it with my customers because I haven't done it. So I'll post about it in the Fit Republic after our call. Let me know if you'd be interested in doing something like that. So if we have a good bit of interest, then we'll do a 3-day refresh group for our team only. And it will be like on the 14th or maybe the 21st of September, depending on when everybody gets their stuff in. Quick note, guys. I hear a lot of people talking about shipping and taxes and all that stuff. And what do you say to people about shipping and taxes in terms of challenge packs? You don't, because you don't know what it's going to be in every province or every state. It varies. You don't know what it's going to come out to for taxes and all of that stuff. So people expect that there's going to be a shipping charge and people expect that they're going to pay tax. That's what happens when you shop anywhere on Amazon or whatever, online shopping. You pay tax and you pay shipping. So I talk about the challenge pack cost itself, right? Because people, again, expect that they're going to pay taxes and shipping. Okay, I posted the September calendar for you guys. It's under files in the Fit Republic. And this calendar includes a free group that starts next week, Monday, inviting for your challenge group, adding contacts. And then there's another coach sneak peek that happens at the end of the last week of September, as it's been for the last couple of months. There's going to be new material for this coming up coach sneak peek. So it will have some similar elements, but I'm also going to be changing it up a little bit. So you can invite people who weren't quite ready yet to start coaching at that time. You can definitely invite them to join this coming sneak peek because there's some new awesome stuff happening there. So the September calendar just kind of helps the team to stay organized. And if we're all kind of doing the same thing, that's cool. I already talked about the Success Club prize. So you're getting P90X, P90X2, and then there's another P90X series. I think it's called individual series. I can't remember. But you get all 3 programs when you hit Success Club 5 in September. That is crazy amazing. It's the first time they've ever done something like this. It's like a $229 value US. So that's crazy. You get experience with some of Beachbody's foundational products. And for me, I have P90X, but it's like super scratched up. So I could totally benefit from that. And I actually have P90X2 as well. So I'll use my P90X2 for like a prize draw or something like that on my page. And the individual series I don't have. So again, it gives you experience with Beachbody's foundational products, and that is awesome. Okay, so I just wanted to call attention for those of you who aren't brand new coaches. You probably haven't seen this. Under the files in Fit Republic, there is a section on Power Hour. And I highly recommend that you go check that out, because seriously, guys, it doesn't take 6 hours a day to build a super successful Beachbody business if you're very, very focused with your time. Something that I have implemented, and I just started this from listening to a podcast called Entrepreneur on Fire, and I listened to it at 1.5 speed or 2 speed, depending on who's talking that day. So I can listen to one really fast. So that's like some personal development for you guys if you want to check out Entrepreneur on Fire podcast. It's not Beachbody related, but I find I'm getting a lot of really good ideas from there. In any case, I'm using this app called Pomodoro. There's a free version and there's a version that costs like $2 or something. I'm going to try to show you. It's this one. It looks like that. There. It's called Pomodoro. And it's so freaking awesome because it gives you, I think the paid version is where you can choose your time frames, but the free version, you have it has a timer, 25 minutes on, and then you get a 5-minute break. So all day today, I've been doing 25 minutes focused on just one task. So if I'm messaging and following up for like challenge groups or whatever, that's all I'm doing. I don't check one notification. I don't go into a group one time because I have 25 minutes to finish that thing. And then for the 5 minutes, you don't do anything work related, nothing Beachbody related. Go do push-ups and jumping jacks or go hang out on the deck. I've done a ridiculous amount of push-ups today. And then you come back and you start going down your to-do list for the next 25 minutes. So for me, I probably have more messaging to do than a lot of you do because I do this like a job. So like I'm not working a full-time job, right? So you can, if you have your to-do list set out, if you have your power hour to-do list set out before you even start, you're going to be a ridiculous amount of productive. So I highly recommend it. I think it is a really cool app. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit. I just had a call with Josh Spencer and the girls who are currently shooting for Diamond. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about August was a tough month. August is a month where a lot of people are distracted. They're finishing out their summer and they don't want to really get into a fitness routine in August because they probably gained 5 pounds over the summer and they're like, well, I'm not going to start now because I only have 3 weeks of summer left and I want to eat all the chips and ice cream during the last bit, right? Seriously, it's just the way that it is. So August was a tough month, but if you were consistent, if you kept posting, if you kept sharing about your workouts, kept sharing about results, kept talking to people, then that stuff is going to pay off in September in a big way because in September, a lot of people are really ready to start working towards skinny jeans, right? So that stuff is really, really going to pay off. On that note, I also just wanted to talk about our culture a little bit and what we do as coaches. And it leads really well into what Michelle is going to talk about. Michelle is like the Success Club queen. It's nothing for her to hit Success Club 20, 30, 40. And I wanted to break that down for you guys. How are you doing this and how are you doing it so freaking consistently, right? This isn't to compare your journey to hers because everybody's an individual, but there's something that we can definitely learn from her success. So who are we? We're coaches who help people. And yes, this is a business for us. It requires consistency and dedication. But if in your mind, when you're talking to each individual person, your priority is sincerely to help them whether or not they buy a challenge pack, it's weird to make that mind shift, right? That this person isn't associated to Success Club points. You genuinely just want to help that person. Then your business is going to grow exponentially. If you're known as that person who will send a message and give some tips and offer some encouragement, for the most part, guys, when I message with people, and it's not about a challenge group, if they message me, like I posted a video on binge eating where the video itself got very few likes or comments because it's a shameful topic. But I got just a ton of messages out of it, people just pouring their hearts out and telling me how ashamed they are of that behavior and how it's impacted their lives and all of that. And the conversation a lot of times is just, giving them that bit of encouragement that they can overcome it. I think you'll find as you post about your specific struggles that you're going to have people message you about that same thing. I have a lot of people message me too, how do you stay motivated? That's a question I get in my inbox every single week, a bunch of times. And I don't take that and be like, oh, hey, do you want to join my challenge group, right? How do I stay motivated? Sometimes I really have to think about it. Like, how do I stay motivated and try to encourage them in their fitness journey? So who we are, we're coaches, we're Beachbody coaches, but Beachbody isn't our brand. We are our brand, right? What we do is help people, whether it benefits us in that moment or not. And I guarantee you guys, a lot of those people are going to see your challenge group post and be interested because they know who you are as a person. Okay. And what I'd like for you guys to do is try this experiment in the September calendar. Once a week, I ask you to post about one of your struggles. And this struggle can be related to body image. It can be related to nutrition. It can be related to workouts. It can be related to your life, like whatever it is. Post about that and then go one step further. Invite people to message you. When you post that weekly struggle point, invite people to message you if they're struggling with the same thing. And then just start building a relationship. Don't even invite them to a challenge group. Just start building a relationship. It doesn't take that much time to go through your inbox if you've got 5 messages about the same thing, just to offer that bit of encouragement and ask them a little bit about themselves, right? It doesn't take that much time. And that can be your forming part of the day, right? Because you're supposed to make new connections anyway. Okay. Michelle, can you unmute yourself, girl?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're quiet though.
Okay. Let's see.
I think you're okay. Can everybody hear her okay? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah? Janice, you're the only one I can see.
Check.
Okay, you're good. So I'm going to highlight a couple of things. And no, this is not a typo. I put social in there for a reason. A few things that I've been observing as I've watched Michelle grow as a coach, a few things that I've observed are that, number one, she's always been super transparent on social media. In fact, one of the first videos she ever posted was an intensely personal video about an eating disorder. And it really blew my mind that such a new coach would, and I told her, you need to be personal, you need to put your story out there. And she took that all the way. And so social, she put herself out there, not as a perfect person and this beautiful girl who's got it all together. She put herself out there, including her struggles, which allowed people to connect with her very early, right? And so the social media created that first connection. Secondly, she talks to people. She talks to people a lot. Messaging is probably the thing that takes most of your time. Yes, Michelle?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. And I always say, if you haven't talked to people that day, you haven't moved your business forward. So yes, that. Number 3, she helps people whether they're ready for a challenge group or not. And that's been a common theme that I've heard from Michelle in our conversations. Number 4, social. I'm saying this because the person sees her on social media and that's how they connect, and they are introduced, right? They start building a relationship a little bit via private message, but social media and her consistency there, showing results, showing that she works out legitimately every day. She drinks her Shakeology, she's eating healthy. It lends credibility to what she does as a coach. So a lot of people who've been following her page for a year are now ready to join her on this journey because they've seen that consistency over time. So social media, it serves many purposes, but those are the two most important ones that we're going to talk about today rather. Okay. So here are just like some posts that Michelle has done recently. Michelle, do you just want to start talking a little bit about your social?
Sure. I consistently try to post at least 3 times a day. It is not always easy. I struggle many times with what to post. Sometimes I look on Facebook for motivation, or I just look on YouTube for motivation. I just find motivation somewhere, or I just think about my family, what I can post about them, or I just think about my struggles and what I can tell people to help them. Today I was like, what do I want to post? And I thought, you know what? I'm going to share my recipe for lasagna. People always ask about my healthy lasagna and how I make it. So I shared that. It got a lot of engagement. And I find though, when I get super personal, like Rosa said, I get the most engagement. And just recently I shared a Transformation Tuesday picture, and I got a lot of engagement with it, but I also got a lot of private messages. And through that post, I also got a few challengers, not even my intention at all. I was just putting myself out there and just trying to connect with people, trying to show them that you don't need to be perfect in this world. We all have our struggles, we all fail. I'm very open about how I fail so often with my health and nutrition, but I find I'm just relating to people more. Like, I'm not going to pretend that I eat healthy perfectly every day, because I don't, but I try my best to. And so I share that with people.
So tell me a little bit about, like, say that Transformation Tuesday photo, for example. What was it, do you think, that prompted people to message you after you posted that?
Because I shared, I was super open about how I was when I was younger already, like how I struggled with like binge eating already at a young age. I also shared about how I struggled with bulimia, and how it, not even that long ago, I still had like a little fallout with that. And a lot of people won't comment on that, because they have that struggle too, but they won't admit it on Facebook, social media. So they message me about it, and they're like, oh, like I shared something about being the girl at the canteen in grade 8, just always buying junk food, and this girl messages me and she's like, that's so me. I can't believe it. Like, we're like the same in that area. And it's just so awesome to be able to connect to them like that. And
Okay.
this one girl also said, she's like, this is like I'm reading my own life story. So that was so cool.
I'm going to highlight something that I think is really important, and something that comes intuitively to you that didn't to me, and that doesn't to a lot of people. And that is taking a little snapshot of your life in the past and comparing it to now, like a clear snapshot. Like, she's talking about that girl in grade 8 who went to the canteen all the time. I actually read the post. It was a fantastic post, super, super personal. And like, I could actually picture the girl in that photo, you know, like I could feel the struggle. It evoked some emotion for me, because I could actually really, like, I could feel it, because she really took a snapshot of that time in her life, and she painted the picture with words, and then there was a photo to go with it as well. Like, I wish that I had caught that screenshot. I should have gotten that one. And then compared it to now and how she's grown in her journey. So I don't know if you guys were on the team call last week. I talked about posting about change. It's really important that we post about change in our own lives, in the areas that we struggle and maybe still struggle a bit with, but not as much, or something that we've overcome. But something that I neglected to mention is that if you really paint that picture and really go there to that uncomfortable spot, you know, that's what really allows people to connect with us. So that's something that you do really, really well, Michelle.
Thank you.
So like, that's kind of, that sets the tapestry, that sets the stage. That's the tapestry of her page. She shares a lot about her life, and she's super personal. She talks a lot about change. So then when she does post a challenge group post, all of these people that she's been talking to, firstly, if you've private messaged with somebody, they're going to see the posts on your page a lot more frequently. Just FYI.
Cool.
If they've messaged you on your page, they're going to see a lot more of your posts. So That's something important to note. So then these people who are seeing her post, who she's had a conversation with, she may have just given them some encouragement that day, but when she posts her challenge group post, then it gets a ton of engagement, right? So Michelle, talk a little bit about your call to action posts and how your conversations go when you actually post a call to action.
Okay. When I do a call to action or a challenge group ad or a coaching ad, I always picture the girl I was before I had my transformation. The girl that had so many struggles with lack of self-confidence, the girl who was 50 pounds overweight and felt like there was no hope, the girl who had failed at so many different attempts at trying to lose weight. And I try to speak to those women. I try my best to just target those women because I know that I want to target people that are like me, and I'll have common ground with them. So once we do start a conversation, so let's say they'll comment on my ad, I'll get them to friend request me on Facebook. And if they do, I know that they're serious, and we'll start a conversation. And my first thing is always to find common ground. I don't even talk about any challenge group at first at all. I don't even put that into the conversation for a long time. I first get to know them, and I feel along with them. I share my struggles with them too, as they're sharing theirs. I totally feel along with them. And I know that I've skipped steps before when it comes to that, when it comes to building relationships and doing the whole forming process. And I lost challengers, I lost coach prospects like that. So for me now, it's not a rush. However long it takes for that person to trust me and to feel comfortable, it's okay. I only have people now that are buying things from me that I've talked with consistently over the last 10 months. But that's okay. They trust me. They know who I am. And I just don't want to be the girl that just messages random people and just invites them to my group and they'll probably never respond and hating the inviting process. That's just not me.
I had another kid puke. I'm sorry. I have to go for a second. I know. I'm going to be right there. So, okay. So, Michelle, if you can just talk for a little bit. I know not everybody says yes to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people say no to you too, right? Mm-hmm. So talk a little bit about those people and how or if you interact with them, and I will try to be right back.
Okay, poor Rosa. I do get a lot of no's actually, because I know, especially when I skip steps, I get no's. But sometimes I'll feel like, okay, this person is ready. I want to invite this person to my challenge group. So I invite them and they say, I can't afford it right now. Well, that to me right away, it puts up a red flag, telling me, okay, I did not build enough value in the product. Or they'll say, no, it's not the right time. I'm way too busy and things like that. Well, then you know what I do? I post about how I meal plan or how I prep my meals in advance or how I just ways to save time. And then often they'll see it. And I've gotten messages like that, saying, okay, you know what? I think I can do this. I want to join your challenge group. And then also, sorry, I'm in the garage here. I'm trying to get away from the kids. Just taking your time. I have people that say no, and then I offer to help them for free. I've helped a lot of people for free, actually. I tell them to message me every day or to text message me every day, just letting me know how they were doing, what they're struggling with, how I can help them further. I don't say, okay, well, you should be using Beachbody products or you should be using Shakeology and that will give you better results. I just try and offer them help the best way that I can. I give them ideas on Pinterest, things like that. I just really try to add value to their lives for free. And so often this has, just a little while ago, I sold a challenge pack to a lady that I had helped probably for a couple of months. She had already bought me a thank you gift and everything. And then she ended up buying a challenge pack. Yet she was just so appreciative to me for being able to help her like that. Hi, Rosa.
Hey. The kids were all like settled with a movie and I thought they'd be good. We haven't had like puking for like 3 hours, so I thought we were in the clear. In any case, sorry about that. All right. Oh, this was supposed to be after. Okay, so I wanted to highlight a couple of conversations. This actually got kind of mixed up. I wanted to highlight a couple of conversations that Michelle shared with me. So this was somebody that she'd been talking to for a few months before she actually bought a challenge pack and was ready to start a challenge group. So Michelle talks pretty freely about her struggle with binge eating in the past. And like this girl just really opened up to her about that. And they already had that in common. And one day she messages her and she was like, okay, I want to order the challenge pack and join your challenge group. And then another message. So this is somebody that she'd been talking to for a long time and who she, for a few months, she said, yeah. And she said, I love that you said I admire you for it. Like you're telling the person that you admire them for whatever you were talking about. Maybe you should join my team, haha, kind of thing. And she's like, I've been thinking about it, right? But they'd already built that relationship. They were friends first. There was something that I heard on a national wake up call not too long ago. And she was saying, at the point when you would invite that person to, I think she said a barbecue, like if you're having a big barbecue or something, at the point where you would invite them to a barbecue, that's the point where you can invite them to join your team. And I love that. So here's somebody, and this is something that I fail at a lot. So a lady who responded to one of her ads, she couldn't get in on a challenge group at the time because she wasn't able to afford it. But they've been just chatting and continuing the conversation in terms of her fitness journey, and suddenly she's ready. Can you tell us a little bit more about this particular story, Michelle?
Sure. She's actually from Texas. There's probably some other girls on the call from Texas. Yeah, she responded to my ad and I told her to friend request me on Facebook. So she did. And we just started talking right away. And I just found a lot of common ground with her. She really reminded me of myself before my transformation, like so much. And she made it sound like they had a really tight budget. I'm sure they do. But she was talking about like how she could do it where it wouldn't cost money. Like she had tried Weight Watchers. She had tried so many things. And I tried to give value to her. Like I gave her some links to Pinterest of recipes that I loved, and I shared some recipes with her that I loved. I even shared her or like my daily meal plan with her to show her how I ate, because she was so scared to give up her pina coladas, and she had few things that she really liked that she did not want to give up. So I just like related with her. I'm like, there are some things that I have such a hard time giving up too. And so what happened actually is, how did this go about? Trying to think here. She said she couldn't afford it, but then she told me, all of a sudden she messaged me and said that she had seen the 21-day fix on an infomercial for $60 USD, I think. And then she asked if she could order that and join my group. And I told her that for my Back to Fit group, we were doing challenge packs, and I explained the Shakeology to her and how awesome it was, and just really built value into the Shakeology and how it had really helped me already with my results and everything and how it made me feel. And she, I guess, had researched it online, took a lot of time to research everything, and then she came back to me and she said, yes, I want to go ahead with it. She said the reason she had decided to go ahead with it is because of my transformation, because she really felt like she connected with me and she wanted me to help her. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That is awesome. I'm curious. Can you break it down a little bit? So you say you find common ground first, like before you get into the challenge group discussion. What does that mean? Like, how do you do that? How do you start that? What do you say?
It's hard sometimes. Like I always go and look at their profile first. So I find out if they have kids or if they have a husband or what kind of a job they have. It's hard to find common ground with women that don't have kids or that don't have a husband. But that's where I really try to just find common ground when it comes to the weight loss, the health aspect of the business. I always ask them what their health and fitness goals are. I don't say like I have the products that will help you. I just ask them what they are, and I genuinely just like I share my story with them as well. And it is hard. It's not always easy to find common ground. A lot of people, it's a lot more easier for me to find common ground with them, but I just try my best. I try to really listen to them and ask them questions and just act really interested in them. That always works for me.
Okay, so that totally makes sense. What do you do with the person who, in their first message, says, "How much does this cost?"
Oh, I hate that question. Okay, I usually say it depends. It depends on which program you would choose. But then I say, okay, we need to find out which program would be best for you. I would love to hear about your goals. What kind of workouts do you like? Do you prefer weights? Do you prefer cardio? What do you like to do when it comes to health and fitness? What do you not like to do when it comes to health and fitness? Just get to know them like that first. And you know what? The price, if I really like act interested in and just really try and help them, like find a program and everything, the price doesn't even come up again. Usually towards the end when they're ready to order, they'll ask again. And I'll tell them again, like depending on which program they pick and whatever, and then I'll give them the link. And almost always they will order, and I'll never hear the price thing again.
I love it. So we just had that discussion in Fit Republic a couple times recently. And I was saying the same. Like if somebody in their first message, they just say, "What does this cost?" And I don't know anything about them. Like if they haven't gone through the whole process of telling me about themselves and their fitness journey, like I got to know more before I can even recommend which program, because it can really vary, right? So same deal. For those girls who had a tough August, can you give some helpful tips for us going into September and how to maximize, like, firstly, we want to help people, but we also want to hit Success Club and we also want to build a business, right? So can you give us some tips going into September on how to maximize our month?
Sure. I would still say don't rush it. Do not rush it. Still take your time. Don't skip steps. Even if, like, I find if I'm at a loss of who to message, who to invite, I just think of more people that I can message. Not even about challenge groups or anything, but just to message to see, how is your health and fitness journey going? People that have said no to me a few times already, just to see how they're doing. And I did this month, I did more ads. Like I haven't really done a bunch of ads, but I did a couple of challenge group ads that I boosted for like $10, I think. So I did get some contacts through that. I hadn't really done that in the past, a few times, like for $5 maybe, but that helped me to get some contacts. And I also sold a few challenge packs like that. But for me, I get a lot of people that message me because of my challenge groups. So I think if you can do really good in your challenge groups, and I don't just post in my challenge groups, I also privately message my challengers to see how they're doing, because some of them don't feel comfortable posting in the challenge group. So just do your best that you can in your challenge groups. Just try and help these people out as much as you can, because if you help these people lose weight in your challenge groups, they will have friends and family that will hear about it, that will see it, and so often I get messages because of that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle. Just going to highlight a couple of things. Something that I always used to say back in the corporate world was slow down to speed up. Like that's what I used to tell my team all the time. You got to slow down to speed up. You can't rush the conversation. The longer you spend asking about somebody and finding out really what they're looking for, the better you can be, the better coach you can be, the better solution that you can offer these people. I want to highlight in terms of Facebook ads. We talked about Facebook pages versus using your profile last week on the team call. If you have a Facebook page and if it's getting good engagement and you have a pretty good following, again, I recommend that you use about 10% of your Beachbody income to boost posts. So never boost a post that's doing poorly in the first place. That doesn't make any sense, because then when it's served as an ad, then Facebook isn't going to serve it to people because nobody's liking it or commenting on it. So you only ever want to create an ad out of a post that's already killing it. Not just doing okay, but like killing it. Okay? So that's number one. And then making an ad out of your challenge group post is also a good idea. But I want to caution you guys, again, I say this every time, but I mean it. Don't spend too much money on your ads. 10% of your Beachbody income. If you earn $100 in August, that's $10 that you can use. $5 for 2 posts in September. If you made $200, then you've got a $20 marketing budget. But I just really don't want you guys to go crazy with Facebook ads, because honestly, like, especially if you're a newer coach, you're going to end up wasting a lot of money because you haven't got your groundwork laid with your social media anyway. And then lastly, something that we rarely talk about is messaging your challengers. I love that. And I think it's really good practice that if you have a challenger that hasn't posted for 2 days, just to send them a message like, hey, how's it going? Just wanted to check in with you. I see that you haven't posted for a couple days and just wanted to make sure you're doing okay and offer any encouragement I can. And here's a really good way to do that. I don't know how many challengers you guys have in your challenge groups, but there's a search feature in every Facebook group. At the top right, there's a search feature. If you have a list of your challengers' names and you just search each individual name of your challenger, it's going to be a lot faster to check in with each individual challenger if you search their name, because then you'll see their most recent post and you'll see if they commented on posts as well. So it's just a little bit more efficient. And then you'll see, like, if it's been 2 days since they've posted, you'll know it's time to send them a little message to see how things are going. So that's something that I don't talk about nearly enough, but I love it because, yeah, some people aren't as comfortable posting in the group. For me, it's always been people who have, like, friends in the group. They're like, I don't want to post that. Like, I ate half a pizza last night. I don't want my friends to know that, right? Hi, baby. So staying in touch that way is also awesome. It's just another way to connect and add value to people. And getting referrals out of your challenge groups from people who had a really good experience, that goes a long way to helping you hit Success Club in future months and helping more people get results and getting your name out there as a coach. Does anybody have any questions for Michelle or me? We have a quiet bunch. You know what, Michelle? I think that means that we said it all. All right, team. Thanks for being